Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's Value Talk. Once again, we meet and आज का जो वैल्यू टॉक्स है बहुत ही शॉर्ट नोटिस पे हमने इसको ऑर्गेनाइज किया है बेसिकली टुडे इट वाज सपोज्ड टू बी समथिंग एल्स बट मेरे पास इतने मल्टीपल रिक्वेस्ट आए कि आई थॉट दैट आई विल फर्स्ट एड्रेस दिस particular topic and then go for other one. So today's topic is preparing for MAT, CAT, GMAT, all kind of management related exams which are there for MBA outside or in the country from the premier institutes. And right, so before we get on to today's topic, there is another. I hope all of you have already joined the Google group and you have also joined the Telegram channel and you are part of Career Coach YouTube channel. If you are not, then please do it now. And today there is another video at 9 o'clock which will be released on Career Coach YouTube channel that is on DGR courses basically. So there is a DGR course, people send me list of DGR courses which are on offer and I was quite impressed with the kind of courses which DGR has now tied up with various universities, Throne Technologies and all, and they're very relevant courses. And we are going to, so I'm on the Career Coach YouTube channel, I'm going to start a short 3 video series in which we will analyze how to choose these courses and we will not talk about the certificate courses, which are the business management courses, which it has been offering ever since. But we will talk about the new courses which have been added to the list. And they are pretty interesting and quite promising. So at 9 o'clock, it will be released. So if you're not part of YouTube channel, please do subscribe to it. I have already given the link in the chat box. And also for the Telegram channel and Google group also, I will give the listing. So coming today, so we'll talk first about today's topic, and that is preparing for CAT, MAT, GMAT. And with me today, we have Colonel Dinesh Jha. Dinesh, are you there?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
This is yours, this thing only, okay.
Yes.
Right. It is coming as Rupam Jha.
Yes,
right?
It is my son's laptop, sir.
Okay, right. So Dinesh, welcome to the show. I will just give a brief introduction about Dinesh. Dinesh is presently posted in Maharashtra and NCC, and his academic record is very impressive, very loaded. I don't know what he wants to do, but it is very loaded. It is BTech Electronics, MTech Computer Science, MBA Supply Chain Logistics Management, pursuing PhD in role of social media and influencing purchase behavior of customer. And he has a 99.85 percentile in MAT, and he got offer from all the premier institutes, IIMs I'm talking about in India. But of course, service has comments, but we'll not dwell upon that. His academic record tells me that he has been very systematic and he has that thing in him. So he is the right person and to guide us how to crack GMAT, MAT, CAT, whatever you are preparing for, how to do it systematically, how to make the task easier. And we will go through his experience of this thing. He's already mentoring people. And let me tell you, for today's talk also, I had a little chit chat with him in the morning. For today's talk also, he reached out to those people who have been very successful in taking, besides himself, in taking these exams, and he actually prepared for this talk so that everybody can benefit maximum from this talk. So I would request everyone to switch off their videos, keep yourself in mute, and let's go ahead. So Dinesh, welcome to the show, first of all.
Thank you, sir.
Dive straight inside the topic of the day.
Most welcome, sir.
So I mean, let's start at the very basic. The first question is always generally the basic question I like to ask, and that is, what is GMAT, CAT, MAT? There's so many acts, Ye kya hai?
Sir, all three has got similar syllabus. CAT and GMAT is online based. MAT is paper based. CAT is exclusively for IIMs in India. GMAT is all management colleges in India, and GMAT is international MBA all across the world, including India.
Okay, right. So, I mean, that is, I had requested him to be very simple. And so there may be some more things to GMAT, MAT, and CAT, but we are not going to do PhD in those. We will spend time on the meat. What are the main points? We'll just spend time on those points. Okay. So, just a second. I don't know why people are sending me. So, how did you prepare for the exam? Let's come straight to it. And how did you manage? How much time did you take? And then I will come to your study schedule and your study materials and everything. But let's be very brief. How did you prepare?
I prepared for approximately 1 year in
Okay.
general and about 2 to 3 months in particular.
Okay.
2 to 3 months means 4 to 6 hours per day. And
Okay.
in 1 year, I did prepare for 1 or 2 hours daily or weekly, 4 to 6 hours.
Okay.
That was my basic preparation, sir.
Okay. Okay. So, I mean, you had already made up your mind that you will be doing it. You were not very sure. So, जब भी time मिलता था, आप उसको पढ़ते रहते थे. You
Yes.
kept on, and when you were very sure that you have to be serious, उस वक्त आपने वो 3 महीने की पढ़ाई करी and then you cracked it, right?
Yes.
Great. So, if somebody has to, and what was the study material did you find most helpful in your preparation?
Sir, I referred lots of books, lots of online resources. I did not do any coaching or course, but I had friends. I had a friend named Vaibhav Bakliwal, who is professional. He gives exam almost every year in CAT, and he scores 99.9 plus percentile every year. So he was my inspiration. I wanted to get 100 percentile in CAT. That was my motivation and aim. And with that preparation, I studied for 2 3 months. Somehow I was not as lucky as he.
Okay, no worries. I mean, whatever you achieved is also great feat. It's not any less. But I mean, so you had friend who has been cracking it repeatedly, and so you took guidance from him, and that is why we have invited you. That since you have been moving around in the circle, which has been cracking it with good scores, you yourself cracked it with good scores. So that is why that's the reason to invite you. Yeah.
Thank you.
So, I mean, you said you have used many online resources, you used many courses, and can you just list down a few, or at the end of the video, would you be able to give a list of resources which one should go through?
Yes, sir. The books are, one is GMAT official guide. Second
Right.
is Manhattan preparations. It gives you all the GMAT in bundle. Then Kaplan's GMAT preparation. Then Mo Matrix. Then for individual books, Manhattan basics, English, Manhattan verbal basics, then Manhattan advanced basics. Either Kaplan or Manhattan, any book. Or to beginner in India, one can start with Arihant publication, normal CAT books, which clarifies all your concepts. And 1 or 2 or 3 months, one should just focus on concept clearing. What is the syllabus? That is 15 days. What is concept of each chapters? That is arithmetic, algebra, and other thing. And once you're through with that, then you should think that you are starting for GMAT.
Okay.
While in service, if you have time, then 2 to 3 months is sufficient to score more than 700 marks in GMAT/MAT/CAT, provided you study 4 to 6 hours.
And provided that you have cleared your concepts earlier in those 2-3 months prior to that.
Yes.
And then you go for full throttle.
Yes.
Study mode.
Very correct.
Another thing, I must compliment you. You achieved this feat while serving. I mean, that is again sometimes not possible,
Sure.
and that's quite commendable. Sorry, gentlemen, I'm having a lot of cold and cough, so please bear with me. So there are many sections in this exam. Can you tell us about those, and how did you approach each section of the exam?
There are basically 4 sections. 2 is to be concentrated, 2 is to be generalized. 4 sections are, sir, analytical writing. In that, one essay one has to write, one question, 30 minutes time is given. It is graded between 0 to 6 by human, then computer, then averaged out. If there is not much difference between human and computer, then it is graded at 0.5 increment, and it is not included in your overall score. That is analytical writing or essay writing, sir. Second, sir, integrated reasoning. Integrated reasoning is again scored 1 to 8 on 0.5 increments, and it has got 12 questions. Again, not included in your final score of 200 to 800. Now comes the brass tacks, that is quant and verbal. Quant is quantitative reasoning, and verbal is your normal English. Anyone who has got basic knowledge of English and math of 10th level can score about 600 marks if he sits now. To score 600 to 700, one needs preparation for about 3 months. To score more than 700, you need preparation more than 3 months.
Okay, right. So, but Eklam, थोड़ा सा general impression जो है कि you require good English, and a lot of people, especially in the armed forces, they think they have very good English and then they fall flat. And not only in armed forces, otherwise also, I've seen people scoring, language part में ज़्यादा मार्क खा जाते हैं कई बार. So, is that true?
Sir, you're right. What we speak is, this is speaking English. This is not grammatically correct or confusingly correct. In GMAT, sir, they use jargons. They use Greek, Latin, French words, and everything is based on idioms and phrases. So, to do very well in that, what I suggest people, refer Oxford Big Dictionary. In that last but 5 pages gives you about 140, 150 idioms and phrases used in English. Then before that, Latin words, Greek words used in English, and French words. If you master that, in 0 to 6 score, you will score 5 in essays. Total problem is, sir, we don't use very often the Greek words, Latin words, and idiom and phrases, and that is only required in international English.
Okay. I have seen a lot of people making those cards, they carry with them. Flashcards. आजकल तो उसके applications भी आ गए हैं. You can have soft flashcards also. They keep practicing with them and all. Did you use any of these things?
Since my part B, part D, I have been using flashcards, and that is pasted in my washroom very prominently, and it contains all equations and total mathematical things, sir. In one page, one can write total equation. One flashcard of mathematics is sufficient, and 2 to 2 flashcard of English is sufficient, sir, for GMAT.
2 to 3 flashcards. Okay.
Yes, sir. It is
very. You're talking about pages.
Yes, sir. It is very useful, and one should have.
Okay. So one thing is that whatever you learn, you keep making concise this thing, and then you start reducing it to flashcard, and then you use flashcards to revise whenever you have time, right?
Yes, sir.
Great. So because I have seen a lot of my mentees also doing this. I of course don't mentor them on how to prepare for this thing, but I have seen them using these flashcards, and I've seen them using flashcards which are, on laptops and this, and also a lot of things.
Sir, there's a subject called metacognition, which is learning about learning. Their emphasis is, if you read same thing 3 times, then you remember about 30%. If you write it, you learn about 60%. If you explain it to someone, you learn 90%.
Absolutely, I agree.
If you don't revise in 3 days, you come back to 60%. If you don't revise it in 7 days, you come back to 30%. And if you don't revise for a month, you come back to 10%. This is metacognition, sir. So one has to keep in mind. That is repetitive learning.
This is what
metacognition, sir. Learning about learning.
Metacognition.
Yes.
Okay. Right. And when you start teaching a subject to somebody, you learn much faster. And I also intend, teaching machine learning soon. I don't know how to do it, who will learn, but I intend doing it because I want to master it. I have already done master in that, but I want to become master of.
Great, sir.
Much better than that. And I'm going to do that. I'll find some students. So, okay. Did you have any specific techniques for pacing yourself or prioritizing questions? Can you give a kind of a systematic plan?
Sir, simple.
Okay. Let me ask this question a little differently, and then I intend handing over. I want to ask you. Suppose today I am thinking of appearing for GMAT, CAT, or whatever MAT, and My aim is that today's, we are in March. My aim is that next year, March, I will appear for the GMAT exam.
Sir.
Okay. So I give myself 1 year.
Sir.
Okay. What should be my approach? And then also tell me what should be my approach if I give myself 6 months.
Sir, I am not qualified on either of these things. If you ask me, if you have got only 2 months, how to prepare, I'll be more comfortable.
Okay, tell me.
Sir, 3 words to be remembered: focused, quality, unit asking.
Okay.
You should only focus on GMAT. You should study only quality resources, because lots of disturbing resources are available online, offline, in the form of books. And third is unit asking. When you prepare for GMAT, you should only prepare for GMAT. Cut off yourself from all other botherations. And until you do that, you cannot score more than 70, 780 or plus. So if you have to score 780 plus in 2 months, you have to do all these 3 things. Now, to do the focused study, one has to be the right time, right place, and in right resources. That is, you have to tune your body clock. I am performing best between 4 to 6 in the morning, but I had to tune my body clock to 9 to 11 or 9 to 12, because that time my exam was there. So for my initial preparation of 1 month, I used that Brahm Muhurt or morning hours, but later part, I switched it on to 9 to 1:30. This is right place, right time. Second, sir, place. If you have to score good 700 plus, same place is to be used. Like what new earphones are called, iPods or something like that. That remove the clutters, existing clutters. So your brain should be so much focused that no other disturbances should harm you. And third is, sir, choose any coaching or any book. Just clear your concepts first, practice those concepts, apply those concepts, and then start taking mock test or test, so that you can maximize your efficiency.
Okay. So let's assume that 3 months are okay. Let's give it a little shape.
Sir.
First 6 to 8 weeks, if somebody just devotes, let's not fast track it. Let's say first 6 to 8 weeks, that is 1.5 to 2 months. If somebody just goes through the basic syllabus and clarifies, clears all his concepts,
Sir.
Right?
Sir.
So 2 months, are these enough for just clearing the concept? People should not be bothered about the score at this time.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes.
So once you start clearing the concept in 2 months, you clear the concept, then you should, and that can be done if, as you said, that 2 to 3 hours a day, or maybe 2 hours a day.
Sir.
Okay. 6 days a week. One
Sir.
day they can take a break.
Sir.
Right? So it is kind of how much? 12 days a week?
Yes, sir.
Approximately 50 hours in a month.
Yes, sir.
If you give 50 hours in a month, so 100 hours of clarifying your concept.
Sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
2 months, we said 6 to
Yes,
8
sir.
weeks. So 100 hours you have
Yes.
to be dedicated. Just clear your concept, clear your basics.
Yes,
Whether
sir.
it is English, idioms, phrases, Latin, Greek, whether it is your mathematical quant, etc., etc.
Sir.
So just do that.
Sir.
And then you have to you have to press the accelerator now. You have to go full throttle. And
Yes, sir.
that is a time when you should be giving 4 to 6 hours minimum.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes,
4 to 6 hours for 3 months. And in the last month, I believe you should only be doing, correct me, I'm just trying to build a system.
No, you are exactly right, sir. Last week or last 1 month, you should only do mock testing and
Right.
try to find out your fault.
Right.
Try to make a error log and fix those problems, which concept you have missed.
I will just stop you here. You said try to make an error log.
Yes, sir.
So every time you take a mock test,
Sir.
you keep a record,
Yes, sir.
formal record, that
Yes.
you have, in this section, you have scored this much.
Sir.
Last time it was this much.
Sir.
So see where you are consistent, where you are consistently strong, and where
Yes.
you are consistently weak. So
Yes,
you
sir.
have to then concentrate on your weaker part, right?
Sir, if I may be permitted, sir,
Yeah.
it is adaptive computer-based test in quant and verbal.
Okay.
Adaptive computer means, sir, the easiest question or medium level question will come to you. I had to use the word increment 1 to 10. So one question can have 10 marks or the same question can have 1 marks. So your first question in quant or verbal comes of 5 marks, 5 increment. That is marks multiplied by 5. So if you do it correctly, 6 marks question will come. If you do it correctly, 7 marks question will come. If you don't do correctly, 6 marks question will come. If you don't do subsequently, it will come to 1 marks. That is, as you do correct answers, your difficulty level increases.
Okay.
As you do wrong answers, your difficulty level reduces. So your score is basically in quant and verbal, the last question you attempted of which difficulty.
Okay.
And
So you have to keep on giving correct answers, and
yes, sir.
your score will keep on increasing.
Yes, sir.
Right?
And in this, error log is, say, in a algebra, inequalities. You have missed the question inequalities. Then go back after test, refer complete inequalities equations, solve all questions, do the previous year's questions. Then you can fix your error. That is what I meant by error log, sir.
Okay. Once again, please.
Sir, when you give a mock test 1 month before exam,
Right.
you find that you're very comfortable in arithmetics, you're very correct in discrete statistics, but you lack in, say, inequalities or algebra's part is inequalities. And if you hit inequalities, the next question will again come inequalities of smaller, that is less difficult. Then third will be less difficult. That means it is an indication that you are not well prepared in inequalities, and that may hamper your scoring 750 plus marks. So go back to your book, read those books, and refer only inequalities. That is fixing error log, sir.
Right. Right. Gentlemen, this talk today is not concentrating on whether the ROI is favorable, not this, that. This talk is about preparing for these exams. This is for somebody who is contemplating taking these exams and how to prepare for it. That is a totally different topic altogether. Whether it is ROI favors or not favors, it is beyond the scope of this talk. So we will not entertain these questions. If you want to know about those, already talks are there on Value Talk channel. I'm forgetting the name of the officer, but MBA, it is already there. And you can watch those talks. And we will just concentrating on how to prepare for these exams, right? Okay. So, and also I take this opportunity again for all those who have joined late. In the chat box, there are links to Value Talk Telegram channel as well as Career Coach YouTube channel. Please subscribe to those if you have not. Soon we'll have something good for Telegram channel, this thing. And we are just waiting for the numbers. And let's see. And link for Career Coach YouTube channel is also being posted here only. And of course, please invite all your friends and colleagues, course-mates for WhatsApp groups, which are for armed forces officers. Right. So what was the most challenging aspect of the exam for you?
Sir, verbal part, sir.
Okay. So, I mean,
verbal part is, it is more time consuming. You actually don't come to know what you are doing right or wrong. I had advantage of knowing mathematics since early, sir. I have done BTech and MTech, so I was comfortable in math. But English, it looks simple, but you don't know whether you are going correct or wrong. So that was difficult. And for my preparation time, sir, what generally books teaches you or what coaching center teaches you, you take a book and on that there is a CD, and it is advised that you give first mock test first. If you do that, you do very, very badly. It is all mock test one is designed very tough. And when you do that, you get demotivated. And after that, you call them or you talk to them, then they motivate you. So most challenging was to keep myself motivated and keep myself working.
So my next question was actually that only. You know, when you are preparing for such exams and during the journey of preparation only, people get demotivated. So how did you keep yourself motivated and focused? What can one do for that?
Sir, it is very simple and easy test. Only concept is to be known of 10th level mathematics and 10th level normal grammar, plus, I repeat, sir, idioms, phrases, Latin, Greek, and French words or jargons or colloquial words used in normal English, especially in UK English. That is to be mastered. And best part is to keep yourself motivated for 3.5 hours, 4 hours. Exam is 187 minute plus 16-minute optional break, and to keep yourself motivated till that time. So if you give mock test, generally our efficiency is not to give these 3.5 hour exam. Plus, each question drains your brain. It utilizes your brain. So you get exhausted initially in half hour, 1 hour. So somehow mental stamina has to be built up, and don't get demotivated, because one amongst us is 100 percentile and about 1000 plus is 90 plus percentile. So with little bit of practice, knowing concept, practicing those concepts, one can achieve. But yes, it is demotivating again and again because you don't see your result. And if you start giving adaptive test of GMAT, it demotivates you very, very badly. But since I had the target of 100 percentile, so that was something like.
Okay, I thought that wanting to say something, but we lost your audio. Okay. So is there anything, looking back, is there anything you would change in preparation if today you have to appear for it again?
Yes, sir. I did over preparation in mathematics part. I did under preparation in verbal part. What you have said 15 minutes back, that is, one should know the syllabus first. One should know the concept then. One should practice concept, and one should do some mock test. 3 months to 6 months syllabus, 2 to 3 hours or 1 to 2 hours is too much for it. I did little more preparation, and simultaneously I was working for CAT, GMAT, and MAT. So
Right.
only
So
one thing chosen.
what you're trying to say is be focused, just prepare for one thing.
Yes, sir.
Don't.
Yes, sir. One thing, one book, and always unit asking, focus, and quality study.
Right. And all kind of learning techniques you should.
Yes,
He has talked about metacognition learning. I mean, very good thing. And another, we spoke about flashcards and all. Do check out. There are flashcards available as soft copy. This thing also. Make your own flashcards. Keep it in your file and carry them, and keep checking whenever you are free, when you're going on a journey home to office, etc. If you're not driving, then also you can keep checking. So that is a way one has to keep at it. One thing which comes to my mind is that how many mock tests, and when do you know that you are ready to take the test? There are a lot of people who procrastinate, and because of, in spite of being very well prepared, but because of procrastination, some kind of laziness, or some kind of they become lackadaisical attitude sets in, and it affects their preparation. So what I think is that you should not appear in haste, but you should not delay it also too much. So when do you know that you are ready?
Sir, if concept is clear, you start getting the vibes that yes, I am now aware how to do arithmetic or how to do set theory. Then you practice questions. That gives you a different vibe. And first mock test, if you score more than 600, that gives you energy to give shot, that is appear for exam. But anything score less than 600, one should not give exam, because GMAT is for 5 years, and once you give, it should be full and final. Unlike MAT, which is 4 times in a year, or CAT, it has got 21 days gap window. Anytime in 21 days you can give online test. MAT you can give 4 times in a year. GMAT is your score is counted for 5 years.
No, but you can improve your score, GMAT.
Yes, you can always improve. But once you start scoring more than 600 in mock test, then you should attempt, sir.
600 is too low. No, isn't it?
Sir, if you score 600 normally, under stress you score more than 700. That is my way of thinking, sir.
Okay. So if you are scoring 600, should I raise the bar to 650?
The test is always harder, sir, than the actual test, and
Oh.
your brain performs much better during actual test, sir.
Right. So I think I will not take any more time. I will rather give chance to people to ask questions to you. Gentlemen, again, I repeat, this session is not about ROI, whether we should do MBA or not do MBA. This question is not about that. Okay. This session is only about how to prepare, right? So ask your question accordingly. So please raise your hands and then I will start asking. And before that, please join all the channels. Flood Value Talks. Join Value Talk YouTube, Value Talk Google group, and Value Talk Telegram channel. The link is already there. And also join Career Coach. And at 9 p.m. today, all those who are contemplating doing TGR courses, there is a video which is going to be released. Okay.
Gotta focus on yourself, on your faith, on your dreams, on your mind, on your health, yeah. You gotta work, never tell, keep your head down.